In the winter of 1692, fear crept into the Puritan town of Salem, Massachusetts. Not famine or war, but something invisible, something evil. Whispers of witchcraft spread quickly, igniting a wildfire of suspicion, panic, and deadly accusations. Within months, innocent lives were lost, families torn apart, and a community consumed by paranoia. The Salem witch trials remain one of the darkest chapters in American history, a haunting reminder of what happens when fear overrides reason and justice is drowned out by hysteria. To understand the Salem witch trials, we have to step into the world of the late 17th century New England. Life in Puritan Massachusetts was harsh. Strict religious rules governed by everyday behavior, and the community was gripped by fear of the devil's influence. Superstition wasn't just a folklore, it was a law, and anything unexplained could be blamed on witchcraft. Salem Village, a small farming community, was already simmering with tension. Rivalries between neighbors, disputes over property, and pressure from Native American attacks on the frontier all fed a growing sense of anxiety. Then, in early 1692, two young girls, Betty Paris and Abigail Williams, began experiencing strange fits, convulsions, and visions. A local doctor declared the unthinkable. The girls were bewitched. This single claim would ignite a storm that changed Salem and America forever. With fear spreading, accusations began to fly. At first, 3 women were named: Tituba, an enslaved woman of indigenous and African descent; Sarah Good, a homeless beggar; and Sarah Osborne, an elderly outsider. All 3 were easy targets. Under pressure, and likely out of fear for her life, Tituba confessed and claimed that there were other witches among them. Her confession unleashed chaos. Over the following months, more than 200 people were accused of practicing witchcraft. Children turned against parents, neighbors turned against neighbors, and even a 4-year-old girl was imprisoned. The court accepted so-called spectral evidence, claims that someone's spirit had attacked the victim in a dream or vision. No proof was needed. A pointed finger could mean your death. The accused had 2 terrible choices: confess and live, though you'd lose everything, or maintain your innocence and hang. In total, 20 people were executed, 19 by hanging, and 1 man, Giles Corey, was crushed to death with heavy stones for refusing to enter a plea. His final words: more weight. By early 1693, the hysteria began to fade. Doubt crept in. Minister and townspeople started to question the trials, the confessions, and the so-called evidence. Massachusetts Governor William Phips finally stepped in. He disbanded the special court and released many of the remaining prisoners. But for the 20 people who had already been executed, it was too late. In the years that followed, survivors and family members spoke out. In 1697, the Massachusetts General Court declared a day of fasting and soul-searching, a public apology. And in 1702, the trials were officially called a Great Delusion. Slowly, some of the convictions were overturned, but not all. In 1711, the colony passed a bill restoring the rights and names of some of the accused and offering a small financial compensation to the families. Yet for many, the wounds would never fully be healed. The Salem witch trials became more than just a local tragedy. They became a national lesson about fear, about injustice, and about the dangers of silence when innocence is under attack. More than 300 years later, the Salem witch trials still haunt us, not because of ghosts or curses, but because they were real. Real fear, real injustice, and real people. Innocent lives were destroyed by rumors, prejudice, and blind belief. And though time has passed, the lesson remains the same. When fear overpowers truth and judgment replaces justice, history has a way of repeating itself. Salem wasn't just a tragedy of the 1600s, it's a mirror, and we have to decide what we see in it.